All right, let's talk a little bit about the off season. All right, Charlotte Douglas International. It's not even 6 a.m. yet. It's 5. Good morning or afternoon or evening, race fans and truckers. My name is Sam. Welcome back to Motor Racing and Gravy, off-season edition. So I'm going to get out of the way now. The purpose of this video is because I'm going on a trip this weekend. Today is Friday, December 19th, 2025. You know, every off-season, well, let's back up a little bit. During the season on my videos, I get lots of comments of people asking, what do you do during the off-season? What do you do when you're not racing? And it's hard to answer that question because there's so much that goes into the off-season, but you could sum it up to say that we're just getting ready for the next race season. But my job becomes a lot more like a regular job during the off-season. But there's almost always at least one trip involved of some sort during the off-season. And that's what I'm doing here. That's how this video came to be. I'm helping out. I'm sitting right now in the parking lot at Cook Racing Technologies in Mooresville. I'm going to get on a plane this morning. I'm going to fly to Houston. And I'm going to pick up the Roper Racing hauler and bring it back here. And for those of you who've been asking what I'm doing for the 2026 season, there you go. We'll be with Hallmark Friesen Racing on the number 62 team for the next season. It's not exactly a new team. You know, the 62 has run before, but it's always been just the 52 guys basically just doubling up and running the 62 truck. We have formed a second full-time team now. The 62 will run full-time next year. I can't tell you who's driving it because honestly, it hasn't been set in stone yet. The race team is using a if you build it, they will come mentality for this race team. It's going to be an all-star cast of drivers, cup drivers, probably some O'Reilly Auto Parts Series drivers, and some truck rookies. So one thing I need to get out of the way. I don't love to fly. I'm not a big, I spent a lot of time flying in the Marines and I just got kind of sick of it. And I had planned on making a lot of lighthearted jokes this morning about the flight and how I didn't really want to do this. Can't really do that now. So, like I said a minute ago, but by the time that I'm recording, at the time that I'm recording this, is Friday, December 19th. It was less than 24 hours ago that the NASCAR community, there was a major gut punch of a tragedy. By now you've heard Greg Biffle, his wife, his 2 kids, motorhome driver Craig Wadsworth, and I know I'm forgetting people. There were 7 people on the plane. You've heard by now what happened. There was a plane crash in Statesville, right there where the Macadamia shop that I worked at last 2 years, right there. And I'm never good at saying the right things when right things need to be said. Suffice it to say, it's a major kick in the gut for the racing community. I did not know Greg personally, but I do know a lot of people who did. I'm close friends with people who were close friends with him. Everybody in the racing community knows everybody for the most part, and if you don't know somebody, you know lots of people who do. And that was the case. Greg Biffle had retired from NASCAR a little before my time, but I am really good friends with lots of people who are really good friends with him. And I know they're going to miss him. All I can say about it is just hold your family and friends close, people. Tell your family, tell your friends you love them, because you just never know. So that you know, all the jokes I was going to make this morning about flying, I can't do that with a can't really do that now. But I don't love to fly. And we're going to get on a plane this morning. We're going to go to Houston, Texas. And we're going to bring this hauler back for this race team. And that's that. We'll talk during the video about the off season and some of the stuff that we got going on. And we'll catch the ride back from Houston just like I would in any other video. So thank you for coming along. And let's get this out of the way. All right, Charlotte Douglas International. It's not even 6 a.m. yet. It's 5:45 and this place is already packed. That's December travel for you. That's us right there. Where's it at? Right there it is. Houston 20. Well, there it is. 24:45. That's us right there, Houston. All right, we're on the ground at George Bush International in Houston. Just waiting for the Uber to get here. And it's about, once we get on the Uber, it's about an hour, about a 45-minute ride to the race shop. All right, I'm here at the race shop. We're about to roll out. Once I get stopped somewhere, I'll get out and we'll do a walk around of the truck and check it out. It's a really nice truck. Freightliner Coronado. I've seen this truck at the racetrack before a few times. We are, let's let the air pressure build up a second before we try to take off out of here. But we're homeward bound now. Trip's half over already. Feels like it's been forever since I've been on the road. It hasn't been that long. Stop time. When I got in the truck, it only had about a quarter of a tank in it, which is right about where we're at now. We're not far down the road from where the shop was. I'd like to go ahead and top it off now. All right. Got to figure out where the fuel, the fuel inlet is on this truck, because I am not familiar with it. Okay, right on the side. Fuel, maybe some food. We'll get on the road for a little bit. All right, so the hauler is Roper Racing. I think I mentioned that earlier, the Roper Racing hauler. You've probably seen this in my, some of my other videos. It's been around. It is a good looking truck. And if you're not familiar with makes and models of trucks, these Freightliner Coronados are nice. I like them a lot. They've got that, the old Freightliner Classic XL kind of design. A little dirty, could use a good cleaning up, but not a bad looking ride to ride across halfway across the country in. All right, got food, got fuel, got a drink. Now we're gonna get on the road for a minute. I don't know how far I'm gonna get, but I plan to get as far as I can. All right, let's talk a little bit about the off season while I drive down the highway here. I get a lot of questions on the comment section of the videos about what do you do in the off season, or what do you do when you're not racing? And it's always hard to answer that question because there's just so much that goes into it. And like I said earlier, the easiest answer is during the off season, we're getting ready for the next season. Man, that can mean so many different things. As soon as the season ends, the last season ends, you go back and immediately start tearing everything down. Race cars, equipment, hauler, the works. Find out what needs to be updated. And in our case, this off season, I'm with Hallmark now. We're forming essentially a new team. And so now we have to acquire all the equipment for that new team. A hauler, pit equipment, race cars. And you know, NASCAR almost always has some sort of rule change during the off season, so the cars will have to be updated. New technologies every year with the equipment that has to be updated, and we have to fix everything that got broken. And there's just so much that goes into it. My job during the off season is a lot more like a regular job. I would love to have to live in a world where my job is strictly at the racetrack. Fortunately, being part of a race team means you know, you get to go to the racetrack and compete, but you also have to put in the work outside of the racetrack so that you can compete at the racetrack. Yeah, bear with me a little bit here. We're in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I haven't been down this way. I don't think I've been down this way since I drove freight trucks. Anyhow, you know, during the off season I work just like I do during the races, the weeks during the race season between races. I work at the shop, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And whatever that entails, whether that be working on the hauler, which is that's a lot of what I do, is work on the hauler or the pit equipment. But it also may be running parts, any odd jobs around the shop. And during the off season, we just spend a lot of time updating, fixing, and repairing and preparing for the next race season. And it goes by fast. You know, the time the race season ends in early November till Thanksgiving, very short period of time. That's usually when you spend like just tearing everything down, getting everything torn apart, see what you kind of make a plan for what you need to do during the off season, what needs to be updated, what needs to be fixed. And then between Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's when you start fixing and updating. You know, updating the pit equipment. If you want to rewrap the trailer, peeling the wrap, getting that done. Making a plan for all the upgrades. And then after Christmas, and this goes by fast. After Christmas, it's like a blink of an eye. But after you get back from your Christmas break, whenever that is, some teams take off a week for Christmas and New Year's. That's what we're going to do. Once that's over, Daytona is on you in a minute. So today is December the 19th. I will work through December the 23rd. I will be off the 24th for January the 2nd. So when I come back in on the 2nd, we're in full-blown, it's pretty much race season mode then. We're preparing to go to Daytona. We have a test in January in Rockingham. I will try to do some video with that, by the way. We'll see. I can't, well, I don't really know yet. I'm going to try to make a video for that. So at least you get a look at my new race team with my new hauler, because this is not my new one. This is something different. But yeah, once Christmas, the point I'm trying to make is once Christmas break is over, race season is here in a minute. So that after the Christmas break is over, that's when we start. All the updates are made. All the repairing is done. It's time to start putting together race cars. Start getting your equipment ready to go to the racetrack. And it goes by fast. It all goes by fast. You have that that stretch between Phoenix and Thanksgiving. Then you have a small stretch between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then when you get back after New Year's in Daytona. And it goes by fast. I know for the race fans sitting at home waiting to watch racing on TV, it may seem like it takes forever. And for me, it does too. Sometimes it seems like the all season lasts forever. And I'm usually ready to go back to the racetrack long before we actually get to Daytona. But it goes by fast. So it's nice to get to do stuff like this every once in a while. I'm not going to the racetrack, but I am out on the highway driving a race hauler. And I don't know if I explained this in the earlier clip I made or not, but so what this deal is, traffic stopping. That's awesome. Anyway, let me get to a stop here. So anyhow, the team in Mooresville bought this hauler. I think they bought it several months ago, actually. Just haven't had a chance to go get it because Roper Racing, who the hauler belonged to, is based out of Baytown, Texas. And so this haven't had the chance to have somebody go down there and get it. That's where I come in. We flew out to Houston this morning, took an Uber over to the race shop in Baytown. Now I'm bringing the hauler back to Mooresville for them. And Lake Charles, Louisiana, there's not a lot. we're barely moving. I'm rolling 5 miles an hour. So let me come to a complete stop so I can flip this camera around. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. Oh, there goes the police officer. That's good news. This is a nice part of the country, though. I do like driving this area. I haven't driven this area since I was driving freight, I don't believe. I'll tell you what, when I left home this morning, it was about 30 degrees outside, and I've got my AC on right now. I don't know how long this bridge is, but it is miles long. Like I said earlier, I have not been down this way since I was hauling freight. But this is one beautiful part of the country. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but the Atchafalaya Basin in Louisiana on Interstate 10. I know coming through here in the summertime, it gets hot. Hot, hot, hot. This is not a bridge you want to break down on because you see there's not much of a breakdown lane. Baton Rouge. You couldn't guess by the traffic. It's only 3 p.m. It's actually not even 3 p.m. It's like 15 till 3. So when I left the shop, the race shop, the Roper Racing shop there in Baytown, they said if I didn't make it to Baton Rouge by 3, I was in trouble. Well, I made it by 3. Clearly, we were off by a few minutes. I knew it. I knew that I was going to screw myself up by being in this lane. I don't know why. The traffic was so backed up. I'm like, it really doesn't matter whether I'm in the left lane or right lane right now. It's been so long since I, oh, this guy's going to let me in, thank goodness. It's been so long since I've been through this way. I could not remember for sure, but I just had a gut feeling that I needed to be in the right lane. And I was right. So for those of you who are not familiar with the Horace Wilkinson Bridge in Baton Rouge, this time of day, if you come to a complete stop on this bridge, you can literally feel it moving. Like it shakes and sways and rocks with the weight of all the traffic on it, and you're way up here in the air. I'm not somebody who has a problem with bridges, but I know a lot of people who do. And as far as like sketchy bridges, this one makes the short list. You can see the LSU stadium over there. I mean, I can see it. You can't see it. Oh yeah. You can feel it moving. You can feel it moving really well. Pulling here to Love's. It's not bedtime yet. However, it dawned on me that I don't have any bedding. There's a bed back there, but there is no sheet, no pillow, no blanket. So I'm hoping I can get those things at the Love's. I want to do it now, that way when I do decide to stop and go take my 10-hour break, I'll have it. I won't have to go searching for it then. Alright, I'm going to check out the load too. It's not an empty trailer, there is quite a bit of equipment back there. We're going to check on that. Then I'm going to get some bedding. Then we'll, might as well go ahead and take a 30-minute break. Then we'll go and get back on the road. Alright, 30-minute break is done. Got me an energy drink, protein bar. I'm good to go. As soon as these trucks come by, I'm going to get out of here. Got about 6 hours left on the clock. I'm going to try to ride them out. I don't know what's going on here, but just kind of all of a sudden came to a stop. We're on I-59, still in, well, we're in Mississippi now. Not exactly sure precisely where. Oh, that's not good. looks like it's turned over. Oh, and the trailer here on this truck jackknifed. Yeah, not good. Hope everybody's okay. Alright, we just passed Talladega Super Speedway. Why is that important? Because that's where we're going to stop for the night. We're right at 11 hours. The clock has run out. And I'm pretty much ready for a break anyway. There's a little gas station with truck parking right here by the racetrack. There's a truck stop on the other end, on the west side of Talladega. The exit to the west. Exit just to the west of Talladega. There's a truck stop there, but like a full-on truck stop. But that one probably won't have parking. I bet this one will. Holy crap! I don't know if I want to pull in there or not. That parking lot is rough. We're gonna pull in here, but we're gonna be careful doing it. Wow. Pay to park truck parking. All those will be towed. Sweet, I gotta pay to park. I didn't know that. I think if it was pay to park, then it'd be a little bit better of a lot. Jeez. Making money with a parking lot, you would think that the doggone parking lot would at least be somewhat smooth. There's not even parking spots. It's just a dirt patch of land. Okay, well, I'll play along. I'm gonna park here and I'm not gonna get towed. I wonder if I need to go inside. All right, we're parked. Now we're parked. I'm gonna figure out how to pay for this this dirt lot for the night so I can take my 10 hours, get some sleep. I'm pretty tired. Thanks for coming along this far. Got about, well, sleep for 10 hours, then I'll have about 6.5 hours left on the trip. So I thought I would add in a fun thing. I know a lot of people who watch the channel are truckers, but I know some of you are not. If you always wanted to see what the inside of a tractor trailer looked like I know you've seen it in my videos in the past, but a little bit more of a detailed look. Let's take a look. I like this truck. This truck's nice. All right. This would be the cockpit. This, this is where I sit, and honestly, I know it looks complicated. It's not that complicated. All these gauges have a function and have a thing: air pressure, axle temperature, oil temperature, coolant temperature. All these different switches have a function, and they're all pretty simple. Actually, this is your wipers. This is what I like to call the thank you button. Truck drivers will signal each other to get over and pass by flashing their headlights, and the button is actually called the marker interrupt. What that does is, if you've got your lights on, your trailer lights on, you tap that button and it flashes your trailer lights as a way of saying thank you. I don't know what other purpose it serves, so to me it's the thank you button. And if your trailer lights are off, it will actually flash them on. Let's see what else we can explain here. There's cruise control, the Jake brake, dome light. These options, I'm not sure what these are. I'm not really that familiar with this truck because I just started driving it today, and I don't know that I'll ever drive it again. Engine fan. If your oil temp starts getting hot or your engine temp starts getting hot, you turn that manual fan on. Let's see, that's the regen button. These are auxiliary switches. They can add them in. These are usually not made in the factory, something somebody added in. In the case of a race hauler, these are front and rear axle airbag dumps. So when we're making really tight turns, you don't want, because the trailer, instead of having the rear wheel axles close together and it can pivot, it can't pivot because the rear axles are spread far apart. So you want to dump the air on one of those axles to get one of them up off the ground, and it pivots on the other one. If that makes any sense. I hope it does. Let's see, this one is the this is the air suspension for the tractor. drops the air in the tractor. That way, if you're dropping your trailer, you can let the air out of your tractor airbags. It'll drop it down. This is your the rear axle differential lock. The easiest way I know to explain this would be like your four-wheel drive in a big truck. And this is the fifth wheel. I'm not even going to touch that one. So you can slide your fifth wheel to make a fine adjustment to your weight. Parking brakes. When you hear somebody pull the brake, you hear that pop and the air evacuate from the brakes that loud. Psh, that's what these are. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Now let's look in the back. All right, I'm not real familiar with the Freightliner Coronado. I've driven one once before, that's it. And all the Freightliners and all the different trucks and trailers, the sleepers are set up a little different in all of them. This is the curtain, privacy curtain. Close that up. There's also a curtain here that you can close all the way around the front, give you a little bit more privacy. Storage. So in the sleeper, you've got, this is storage space, more storage space, a little desk. That actually doubles as a footstep to get up to the top bunk. There is a top bunk there, it's just folded up. Refrigerator, another step, another desk. Let's see, a slide out drawer. It's got a latch on it. So I can do it with one hand. There we go. There's that. This is like a regular closet, I bet. I haven't looked in here yet, but I bet that's got a, yep, there's your curtain rod hanger. Some Pepto-Bismol. Do you guys need Pepto-Bismol? I'm good. That's pretty much it. That's kind of fancy. Little window, another window, another window. That's it, guys. That is inside a tractor trailer, a Freightliner. They're all the same, but they're all different, if that makes any sense. All right, 8 a.m. Time to go. I want you guys to look at this parking lot when we pull out of here. I'm still like, I cannot believe they're charging people to park in this lot. If you're wondering where I'm at the, I think I mentioned it last night already, but just in case I didn't, I'm at the exit 173 on I-20 in Alabama. It's one exit up from Talladega Superspeedway. There's a truck stop on the other end that has a reasonably decent parking lot. This is just a gas station that has a big lot that they allow trucks to park in. You have to pay to park here. All right, we're going to drive out and take a look at this place. Oh, and when I paid to park, it said on the app, must be in a designated spot. Will you show me a designated spot, please? Designated spot. I see a designated spot. They got me. I was too tired to give a crap. That's what they were counting on. Alright, we're gonna make what I hope to be our last stop of the trip. Get some fuel and grab something light for breakfast. See how much of a pain in the ass it is to get out of here now. Oh, neat, there's a line to get out of here. Sweet, that's awesome. Well, maybe not. Sweet. Awesome job, guys. Great place to park. All right, back on the highway. If I stop again, that means something is going wrong. Oh, we are back in we're currently in the Lake Norman area, but we are back close to Mooresville, just a couple exits away. It's currently 1:35 p.m. We should be to the shop in about 20 minutes. So I was so excited and ready to get home. I jumped out of the truck and took off and forgot to wrap up the video. I mean, I'm not sure what else I could add. You know, my day started yesterday morning at 3:30 a.m. I had to wake up at 3:30 to get to the shop and then get the ride to the airport. The next time you see me will probably be, I'm not sure whether I'm going to do a video for the Rockingham test, or if the next time you see a video on this channel will be going to Daytona. Or who knows? Yeah, if I see a window of opportunity for another video, I'll make one. But during the off season, there's just not that many windows of opportunity. So, with that said, thank you for coming along for the ride. And we'll see you either in January for Rockingham or in February for Daytona. Thanks for watching.